Hello everyone, this is Scotty. Welcome to episode 2 of my Breath of the Wild playthrough. Um, After going through and editing episode 1, um, I noticed I probably have to talk a little bit louder in these, so I'm gonna try to do better on that. The last one turned out to be pretty long, and there's a good reason for that. I want these first couple episodes to be pretty long, that way we can get through the Great Plateau, and then I think after I'm off of the Great Plateau, I want them to be usually about 20 to 30 minutes each, roughly. Oh, hello. Okay. I guess now that he's gone, we should mess around in here and see what he's got, right? So these are good because we can cook these up to make some cold resistant food, which will be useful pretty soon. So let's pick up this other one as well. He has an axe in here, but I already have an axe, so I don't want to take it. I'll take these two things. And I guess we'll read this. He seems otherwise occupied. This is the old man's diary. On this desolate plateau, the only pleasure that brings me comfort is cooking. And today I outdid myself. Truly, I created the perfect dish. I call it spicy meat and seafood fry. This recipe not only restores health, but it also keeps me warm, even when traveling in the snowy mountains. With this dish on my side, I no longer have need of that itchy, warm doublet. I do not know how I allowed this to happen, but it seems I forgot to write down a very important recipe. I know it contained raw meat and spicy pepper. I cannot remember what else I used. Sadly, on this lonely plateau, I have only my own knowledge and memory to rely on. If I did find someone who knew the missing ingredient, I would happily reward them with my word and doublet. However, it seems unlikely that such a miraculous wish will ever be fulfilled. So that is sort of a nod toward the cooking mechanic in this game, and the fact that we're going to have to later, because we're going to want to get up on this mountain here for the last shrine, and it gives hints toward a dish that we can cook, but I don't want to cook that dish in particular, because if I remember correctly, it heals more health than we currently have in maximum right now. So I feel like that would just be kind of a waste when we can make some simpler things that will achieve the same goal, basically. So we're gonna quickly get rid of these guys right now. You're done. I love using bombs in combat because you can really just send them flying. Like, goodbye. So yeah, we don't have to worry about these guys anymore. Anyway, guys, like I said earlier, I want to reiterate it just in case I didn't make it clear. This video in particular is going to be as long as it takes for us to get off of this plateau, because I want to be off of the plateau by the time this is over. So, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this so I can grab this spear, because it's pretty good for this point in the game. And alright, if I remember correctly, and I do, there's more bee honey in here, as well as a chest with some bomb arrows, which is super, super, super good. Okay, so now we're gonna want to run back up here. so we can get across to there, because the next shrine we're going to is up on that cliff there. So let's pick these apples real quick. Just kind of grab any restoratives I can find. Let's talk to this guy. Fancy that, so we meet again. What are you doing? I thought this tree here might make for some good firewood. However, getting a tree to fall exactly where you want to is quite an art. The trick is to turn your hips so that they face where you want the tree to land. That will be useful information later. So, I see you found my axe. Why not help me out and give it a few swings? I'm working up quite a sweat here, but these bones could use a break. He's referring to this axe that I got last episode. So I am actually gonna cut this down. Just to show you guys the firewood mechanic, just in case anybody watching has not played this game before. Basically, you can lay down these wood bundles here and light them on fire and create your own campfires, which I will probably do later. But to get across this, we're going to want to cut a tree down just like that, and this is... Okay, that was a little sketchy for a second there, but we got through it. Another way, much better way actually, to get trees down is to just bomb them. That's what I do normally. I use my new spear because it's really good at this point in the game to quickly get rid of those guys. And you can also bomb the fallen tree to get the wood bundle. Pick up all of this, and then there's something around the corner over here that I want. There's also this butterfly that I'm gonna grab. I'm gonna try to grab. Got him. So yeah, again, speaking to the usefulness of bombs, they really are quite handy, and there were some fire arrows in there, so that was definitely worth doing. Okay, but now, to get up to the shrine at the top of this cliff, we actually have to climb it. And there are mushrooms dotted around, alluding toward the fact that you can cook them to help you move faster. But I'm gonna quickly climb this cliff right here, right now, so let's go. Alright guys, here we are. This cliff was like literally designed for people's like first climb, really. So it had those little outcrops on there that you could stand on and recover your stamina for a reason. And that would be why, is because I mean, obviously at the very beginning of the game like this, you don't have hardly any stamina, so those are useful. Alright, so this is our stasis shrine. If I could speak, that would be good. And stasis is super good because it allows us to stop certain things in time for a brief moment. See, stop the flow of time for an object. So I'm gonna pick that right up, and we're going to immediately use it on this thing. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, and we can just deactivate it once we're done with it as well. And we're gonna use it to get through this shrine. This chest right here. has a pretty good shield for this point in the game. So I'm gonna drop that and pick this thing up. And quickly sort through the inventory here. Alright, so the end of the shrine is over here. Gotta run down this way. And they conveniently left for me a iron sledge, and because of the bomb tree cutting technique I showed earlier, we really don't need this axe anymore now that this sledgehammer is here. We're actually gonna use this to get around this rock. So we can also use stasis to hit things and send them flying. So yeah, it's actually a pretty useful rune, pretty useful power in this game, and it will be coming up quite a bit in certain areas. So yeah, we picked up another spirit orb, which means we only got one more to go before we are done with all the shrines on the Great Plateau, and we have to do them all before we can get the paraglider, before we can leave, just as a little recap from last episode. Alright, so we are right out of there, and now that I'm up here, I've actually just realized that I forgot to cook cold resistant food or elixir or something, which I'm gonna need for getting to the last shrine. So I'm actually gonna have to go back down because there was a cooking pot in front of the cabin, but not to worry, because since we just did this shrine, I can teleport back to it whenever I want. So yeah. Okay, yeah, so that damn near killed me. That came real close, actually, to killing me, and I just barely saved that by grabbing onto the ledge. Right at the bottom there. So that was almost death, but we're good. We're good. Somehow we're good after that. Oh boy. Anyway, so moving on from that, we're gonna run right up here to my guy's cooking pot, and we're probably just going to, well, let's cook these together with something. Probably just these fish. And since we use the spicy peppers, it will come out as a cold resistance food, but I don't want to do that for everything because, as you can see, this one restores 5 hearts and then 1. Okay, so 6 hearts. I only have 3 hearts, so that's like super overpowered for where I am right now. And so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and stick with these butterflies that I've been collecting, and just put in some monster parts to make myself these elixirs, because I feel like that would be better. I'm gonna go ahead and make one more, just in case. Always good to be prepared for things. And now I'm just gonna probably throw some things together to make restoratives and stamina meals. So I'm not always gonna show everything that I cook in this playthrough, but I'm doing it right now just so I can give anybody who is watching this and is unaware a good look at how the cooking mechanic works and the usefulness of it. So we're gonna fish this up here, and now we can see all the dishes. So beyond just restoring hearts, this one will restore stamina And these are good for cold resistance, which was the whole point. So now we can teleport back up to this shrine, and we will be on our merry way toward the final shrine, so we can finally get off of this plateau. Alright, now that we're here, we're gonna go up this way a little bit, because if I remember correctly, the shrine is right there. So we're gonna wanna climb this mountain a bit, and it's not gonna get cold until a little later, but when it does, we have those elixirs. We can just pop one in and we'll be good. Just right there. Perfect timing. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and drink this one, and now the cold doesn't really bother us for as long as this elixir is in effect. Which is good, obviously. So we're gonna ignore those guys down there, and we're gonna go this way and deal with the enemies over here in the process. Also, in these snowy regions, it's normally a good idea to just traverse the landscapes as much as is feasible by shield surfing, which is what I just did. Basically, where you jump and put your shield under you, and you can kind of just surf around the terrain a little bit. It's better on snow, and you can't do it like anywhere really. It's better on snow and slopes and down hills and stuff like that. It eats durability off of your shield a little bit, but it is generally good for going places quicker. We also want to make a stop at the peak of the mountain right here, because the old man, he will be up there, and he is going to give us something if we go up there and talk to him. So we definitely want to do that. So we will. Actually gonna grab my claymore for this guy. Because I want to take him down, because I want his club and his shield. Pick that up. And be sure to pick up his guts too, because his guts are good. Oh man, okay. Anyway, let's keep going. Alright, so that is the peak of the mountain right there. That's where we want to be to talk to the old man. He will have something for me when I get up there. So let's get up there. Here he is. Okay, so ignore the grave. There is some lore implications here, and this will be probably explained later. If I remember to, I will touch back on this. If I don't, then I don't. But anyway, here's the old man. I enjoy gazing out at the world from here. Breathtaking view. Ooh. This may be the best place to get a full view of the entire plateau. Did you know about the scope on your Sheikah slate? I did. Look through it and you could stick a pin anywhere you'd like to mark on the map. I literally did that in the last episode. Why are we, okay, whatever. The pins on your map serve as reference points for your travels. Just stick a pin anywhere you're interested in. Thank you. How do you know? Just a few tricks I've picked up after many, many years in the wild. You may take my advice or leave it. Go ahead and take a look if you feel inclined to do so. You did well to make it this far without the proper clothing. Please take this warm doublet as a reward for your tenacity. That is the thing that I wanted to talk to him for. So yeah, this will provide level 1 cold resistance as long as I'm wearing it. So I don't really need to make any more cold elixirs because I'll have this thing. And later on, there will be even colder areas that will require more cold resistance. And we could make more elixirs for that, but there's also a full set of cold resistance armor that we'll get later. And at that point, cold resistant anything is pretty obsolete when you have that armor. But right now we don't. So that is a mechanic we're still gonna have to use. It suits you quite well. And it does, because it's green. And Legend of Zelda. Anyway, alright. So, let's head down. And, where... There it is. There's a rock formation over here. This is actually a Korok. And so I want to grab it real quick. Yee. Basically just complete the circle, stick that right there, and Korok. Yay. Good, good. Alright. That's the last shrine, obviously, so looks like I did get the location of that right. I'm gonna shield surf down here to save a bunch of time and clear some ground. And there is an expansion chest at the top of this wall here. I forget what's in it, but we're about to find out. It's bomb arrows. That's definitely good. Alright, cool. Alright. So now, we gotta head up there so we can do the last shrine and we can start working on getting the frick out of here. But before we do that, we got some friends flying around that would like to have some fun. So let's have some fun with them, shall we? Fun had. Steal their meat. Alright. So now we keep heading up. Alright. Fourth and final shrine for the Great Plateau. Let's get this over with. So not every shrine is going to have a rune for the Sheik's Slate. Literally only the 4 shrines on the Great Plateau do. I kind of saved the worst one for last. And you'll see what it does and how useful it really is throughout the course of this shrine. It's useful when it is useful, but it's really, really, really useless when it's not. That's what it does. It creates ice pillars off of water. That's literally it. That's all it does. So you can create them under you, or you can push them out a little bit. But that's all you can do with this room. So it leaves quite a bit to be desired. But that's why we have things like bombs and magnesis and stasis, and that's why those were gotten first. Outside of the fact that those ones are just easier to get to. That spear is not very good, so I'm actually going to leave that there. And, finish this shrine. But we did, in fact, get it done. And so now we're done with all of the shrines for the Great Plateau. Spirit Orb. Okay. I'm glad to be done with these first 4 shrines. because that means we're going to be a lot more free to do things soon. And I like being free to do things. So...
Ho!
Ho! With this, you have now acquired all of the spirit orbs from the shrines on this plateau. Extraordinary. That means it is finally time. Link, it is finally time for me to tell you everything. But first... Imagine an X on your map with the 4 shrines as the endpoints. Find the spot where those lines intersect. I shall wait for you there. Do you understand? Where 2 lines connecting the shrines would cross, there I will be waiting. And then he disappeared. Okay, so if we do that, we will find that the Temple of Time is the point that he's talking about. So, the Temple of Time is where we gotta be. It's literally right over there. But between here and there are a few things we can collect. And I would like to while I'm here. There is a chest in the water there. I forget what's in it. But I seem to recall it being ice arrows. And if it is ice arrows, I want them. I'm gonna grab this chest real quick. It's not. But, I mean, it's money, I guess, so it's not all bad. And, can I get down here without breaking my neck? No. I mean, if you drop off the side of the cliff like an idiot, probably not. Oh man. Okay. All right, let's try that again. We're gonna climb down for a good chunk of this, and then we'll drop down, and we should be good. There we are. Now we gotta climb this wall. Get up here. Alright, this is where we want to be. And now, we can use this and this. So wood and flint. Flint is useful in this game because if you smack it with a metal weapon, it will create a spark that will light any nearby wood and make a fire. So that's really what you do if you don't have any fire weapons. And right now the only fire weapons I have are my fire arrows, but I want to conserve them. So I did not use my fire arrows for making the fire just now. That does kind of speak to the survival aspect of this game as well. Like, you can make certain elixirs and tonics, but the main method of restoring your health is food that you cook out of things that you just scrounge up from the wild. And there's hunting in this game as well. So this is actually kind of a survival-esque game when you think about it that way. Which I can get behind. But anyway, the reason we're up here and doing this is because this is actually a Korok, so... and I mean, I just want to grab it because I know it's here. So yeah. Finally. Okay, and now we can move on. Okay, and now that we're out of the cold, I want to switch back to the shirt. Alright. So let's get out of here and head toward the Temple of Time. Alrighty, here we are. And there is a lone bokoblin guarding the door. Oh, I will never be able to get in. Anyway. Alright. So let's head in here, and the statue is glowing. The statue of the goddess at the end of the temple over there is glowing, so that's great. We're gonna ignore that for right now and go over to this chest because there's a bow in it. All right. Now I guess we'll go look at this. So these are goddess statues. You can find one in every settlement in the game, as well as the Temple of Time on the Great Plateau. And these are where you can turn in your spirit orbs to make yourself stronger, be that giving yourself more health or more stamina. But we're gonna start with health because right now we only have 3 hearts, and that is not very good. So we're gonna want another heart. Yeah. Heart, please. Alrighty. So now we have another heart. Right there.
Ho!
Ho! The blessing of the goddess has made you that much more resilient, I see. Here I am. Get up here, quickly. Okay. So you could just clamber up the side of the building, which is actually what I did the first time I played this game, but there's literally a ladder right here that I didn't even see when I did that, so yeah. Anyway. Alright. There he is. Hey, dude.
Well done there, young one. Now then, the time has come to show you who I truly am. I was King Rome Bosphoramos Hyrule. I was the last leader of Hyrule, a kingdom which no longer exists.
Dun dun dun.
The Great Calamity was merciless. It devastated everything in its path, lo, a century ago. It was then that my life was taken away from me. And since that time, here I have remained in spirit form. I did not think it wise to overwhelm you while your memory was still fragile. So rather than that, I thought it best to assume a temporary form. Forgive me.
It's okay.
I think you are now ready. Ready to hear what happened 100 years ago. To know Calamity Ganon's true form, one must know the story from an age-long past. The Demon King was born into this kingdom, but his transformation into malice created the horror you see now. Stories of Ganon were passed from generation to generation in the form of legends and fairy tales. But there was also a prophecy. The signs of a resurrection of Calamity Ganon are clear, and the power to oppose it lies dormant beneath the ground. We decided to heed the prophecy and began excavating large areas of land. It wasn't long before we discovered several ancient relics made by the hands of our distant ancestors. These relics, the divine beasts, were giant machines piloted by warriors. We also found the Guardians, an army of mechanical soldiers who fought autonomously. This coincided with ancient legends,
Guardians
oft
were
repeated
the
throughout our land.
machines that we found in the last episode. Before the
We
bomb
also
dropped.
learned of a princess with a sacred power.
And this is why I
and
didn't
her
want to talk
appointed
about
knight, chosen by the sword that seals the darkness. It was they who sealed Ganon away using the power of these ancient relics. 100 years ago, there was a princess set to inherit a sacred power and a skilled knight at her side. It was clear that we must follow our ancestors' path. We selected 4 skilled individuals from across Hyrule and tasked them with the duty of piloting the divine beasts. With the princess as their commander, we dubbed these pilots champions, a name that would solidify their unique bond. The princess, her appointed knight, and the rest of the champions were on the brink of sealing away Ganon. But nay. Ganon was cunning, and he responded with a plan beyond our imagining. He appeared from deep below Hyrule Castle, seized control of the Guardians and the divine beasts, and turned them against us. The champions lost their lives, those residing in the castle as well. The appointed knight, gravely wounded, collapsed while defending the princess. And thus, the kingdom of Hyrule was devastated absolutely by Calamity Ganon.
So in case it's unclear, that's why everything's in
However,
ruin.
the princess survived to face Ganon alone.
Link, you are our final hope. The fate of Hyrule rests with you.
That princess was my
Me
own
and my
daughter,
Switch shirt.
my dear Zelda. And the courageous knight who protected her right up to the very end. That knight was none other than you, Link. You fought valiantly when your fate took an unfortunate turn. And then, you were taken to the Shrine of Resurrection. Here you now stand, revitalized 100 years later. The words of guidance you have been hearing since your awakening are from Princess Zelda herself. Even now, as she works to restrain Ganon from within Hyrule Castle, she calls out for your help. However, my daughter's power will soon be exhausted. Once that happens, Ganon will freely regenerate himself, and nothing will stop him from consuming our land. Considering that I could not save my own kingdom, I have no right to ask this of you, Link. But I am powerless here. You must save her, my daughter, and do whatever it takes to annihilate Ganon. Somehow, Ganon has maintained control over all 4 divine beasts, as well as those guardians swarming around Hyrule Castle. I believe it would be quite reckless for you to head directly to the castle at this point. I suggest that you make your way east out to one of the villages in the wilderness. Follow the road out to Kakariko Village. There you will find the Elder Impa. She will tell you more about the path that lies ahead. Consult the map on your Sheikah slate for the precise location of Kakariko Village. Make your way past the twin summits of the dueling peaks. From there, follow the road as it proceeds north.
Go on. Here's the paraglider, just as I promised. Flippin' finally, dude. After the lore drop, I'm still like, yeah, but I want to get off this plateau. Alright. With that, you should be able to safely fly off the cliffs surrounding this area. Finally. And I think that's it. I've told you everything I can. Link, you must save Hyrule. Don't you worry, buddy. I got it. Alright, we're gonna open this up. It's a bow. So you find a crappy one. Grab this one. Okay. So the paraglider is pretty easy to use. You jump and glide. That's it. And now we can glide around, which also means we can get off of the plateau, which is real good. So I am gonna do that. I'm gonna get off of the plateau in this episode because that's what I really wanted to do. And then that's where it's gonna stay. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I kind of just ran through those last two shrines there, really just because I wanted to speed this along a little bit and get down here. But now we are, and so we can continue on. Feet have touched the ground, Hyrule Kingdom. Here we are, finally. But yeah, guys, anyway, hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys in the next one, where we will probably be making our way toward Kakariko Village. Don't really know what's going to happen until then, but until that episode is out, guys, I hope you had fun with this one, and I will see you guys in the next one. Remember to like and subscribe. I feel like I got to put that in the end there because this channel is obviously still very new, and I would like to grow it if I can. So yeah, that's all for this one. Have a good one.